All right. We should be live, I think. I will await the if somebody is in chat to say if I'm visible or not. Give it, I don't know, give it a minute. Probably not anybody right now. Okay. Well, I think I can see myself moving, at least relatively fluidly. So we're going to assume that this is working. And for posterity of the recording, which I don't think I will delete, this is a video, well, this is a live stream where I'm going to be testing out my internet because I got new internet 2 months ago. But I'm testing it now because I'm busy to see if I can live stream at least somewhat better than I used to, because I'm streaming at like more than more than 100 times higher bit rate than I was before, because I was at like 750 kilobytes per second or kilobits, kilobits per second. Now I'm kind of up there, so hopefully this doesn't turn as blocky as the previous streams did. Yeah. So today we're going to be just doing map making. I don't really have an itinerary or kind of a long-term idea or anything like that. I'm just kind of wanting to do some world building, and last time I did live streams while I was doing world building, I actually got quite a bit done. So I would love to try and get the same kind of productivity out of myself. So that's what we're going to try and do, at least. It's going to double check that this is working somewhat. I think so. Well, whatever. All right. And yes, that's working. Cool. So this is probably going to cover a lot of the same things I talked about in my previous live streams about world building and map making. A lot of same things that I'll be covering in general, but never too late to go over something again. You always kind of want to know, want to have some of these principles kind of drilled in when you're doing maps. But as is tradition, let me get a Paradox Interactive game track going in the background so we're not copywritten, and I have some background music. Let's do Stellaris. Let's do that. Let's get this going. Okay, cool. Now just let me remember how I did the volume on this, because it's been a while. Oh crap, how do you do the volume on this again? this is not going well. Settings, nope. Don't think there was an independent volume slider, so I just gotta... Just gonna go ahead and bring that down a little bit. Check my levels here. That's pretty loud. We'll bring that down a little bit more. Okay, cool. Hopefully that's just in the background and not too loud on your guys' end. I forgot how to change the volume on Amazon Music because I am an idiot. It's been a long time since I used the program. So let's get back to this. As you can see, I'm trying to do a bit more of a painted or drawn look for this map, as opposed to the more Atlas style that I was working with before, which presented some problems because I'm not good at drawing, like at all. So that's not great. But I'm hoping that in the end I can. It's not supposed to be perfect. If it's supposed to be drawing style, it's not supposed to be perfect. So little mistakes are fine. I'm just making sure I got my layers all correct here. Yeah, it looks like it. I swear there used to be a button for changing the volume of what you're listening to on here, but I cannot for the life of me remember how or where it was. There it is. Okay. Cool. Let's bring that up just slightly. Get that level a bit better. Cool. Okay, that should be in the background and not be too bad, I hope. So, if we're going to be doing, as you can see, I've already done the outline of this map using my previous erosion map as a basis. So, I just kind of blew it up. I want a very kind of tight-in regional map for this one. So, with doing that, I didn't want to just live stream tracing the coastline again, because that's not that interesting. I've already done that, I think 2 or 3 times on stream already, so we're not going to do that again. So I've got a couple of paper textures put over each other with a couple of different layer effects overlaid. So it kind of makes it look like a worn paper map, which hopefully is good. Just trying to get this sound right here. Okay. So with that done, the next step really is to lay out the water features. As we remember from when we were doing maps previously, well, no, actually, hold on. It's been so long since I've done something. I have to rejigger my brain's steps here. We want to do heights. We want to get the elevations down, because then we can know how the rivers and various other water features will be placed. Now, we do have some lakes here because we know already technically where everything is supposed to go. So we're mostly just going to be reusing this map as a guide. Now, I can't use what I used to use, which was just the elevation contour lines that I previously did, because those aren't going to really work for this kind of map. We want to do something that's a bit more stylized. So what we're going to be doing is drawing mountains. Now, this is actually something I haven't done before, and I am super super afraid to do it on stream. Just hold on, I think I got a message here on... Okay, sorry, that was just a work thing. I got a message on Discord. Even though I'm off the clock, I kind of still keep track of that kind of stuff. All right, we're just gonna minimize Discord and not pay attention to that unless I get a DM somewhere. But yeah, we want to make mountains and hills that look like they've been drawn, because they will be drawn. This is a drawing program. So I'll be doing that by hand. I haven't done that before. And then we're going to add like a tiny bit of shading to it, just so it looks a little bit better than a bare little, drawn line. So if I was to give you all an example, so let me just go in here. I'm making sure I've got the correct pen. Let's overlay a new layer. And let's get this to black. Cool. All right. So the idea is, forgive me, my penmanship, my pen control on this is not as great as it used to be. I'm kind of relearning it. But we don't want to do like this, because that could be kind of nice looking for certain maps. But we're not going to do that. We're going to try and instead make kind of a, well, no, not that either. Come on. Sorry. Nope. Hold on. I need to get my chair's armrest out of the way here. So we're trying to do like, no. Let me try. Let me get this out of here. Yeah. Gotta get the feel for the pen again. So we kind of want to do more like not as much flirt. Oop, cancel that. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember how I did this before. No, that's too boop. And then we're gonna do something like that to give just a kind of view of elevation. It's not great. Just let me look at an example. I had an example up of this. I just want to make sure I'm remembering it correctly. Yeah, so what we want to do is more kind of like that, or something like that. It's a little bit too pointed for the example, but want to just do something like that, and then we'll put the shading in and get it all pretty next time. So that's the idea. We'll see if it works. Like I said, I'm bad at drawing. I'm good at map making. I'm not good at drawing. So let me just get this here. I just want to make kind of a sketch layer just so we can not have to worry about this. So we want kind of hills around this area. Kind of around here. I'm just drawing this out so I remember. It's on its own layer. We want some hills right around here. Gonna go out this way. Create like a little chain here. Want a little chain going down here. Very small, maybe hill or hillocks over here. Around there. We want to have some right around here. Few here. Few there. This range will be important. So we definitely want to define this one. Get this going. Skaven D&D campaign when? Oh. Probably. Is there a rat folk or mouse folk like in D&D like normally? Or is that more of a supplement that people have come up with? I'm actually not aware of one that's in the base game. Get this going down here. You scattered ones right around here. very minor hills here that we want to make it definitely look more broken up, not contiguous. Just checking any others that we're missing here. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so those are kind of the areas we need to put hills in. Hills or mountains. So, to do that... No, but they have the Children of the Horned Rat. Cool. I'm not sure. I don't know about D&D. D&D doesn't seem like it would support Skaven all that much in terms of theme, so I probably wouldn't do that. Though, funny enough, and this is me just putting off having to draw this, draw these damn mountains by hand, which I am dreading on a live stream. Funny enough, I've got it here because that's what my next campaign is going to be using. So this is like, I think, the first official mention of what we're actually doing. Oh my god, that book. And I think my camera's working. I never actually asked about that, but I think my camera is working. Yeah, I think I can say this aloud if my connection will fix itself here. Yeah, okay. Looks like it's getting better now. No, my next campaign, we're actually using Zweihander, and it has a Skaven stand-in race that you can play in it. I don't know if any of my players chose that. I know one of them is playing a bestial race, but I don't know which race they're playing. No, I know. I'm not gonna say anymore, but yeah, no, this has Skaven in it. It's also a super chunky boy of a book. This is like, how big is this? This is 667 pages, or 660-ish pages. Oh, and it is every bit as heavy as that sounds. To put that in there, that was awkward. But that's like the next campaign we're going to be playing in, which is what this map's going to be for, actually, is what I was wanting to do that for. We're just going to bring the opacity down to that quite a bit so it doesn't get in the way. Okay, I'm going to review my little guide here for these mountains. So it's just... yeah, it's just a little curve. My problem is my brush control is really bad. My pen control is really bad. Not as in the controls are bad, it's just that my natural ability to control a pen is very undeveloped. So it should, let's bring this down to like an 8. Should be something like just a general slope. And then the next one will be like a general slope. And put like a little half slope there. Actually, let's bring that one down. A little half slope there. Slope there. Don't like that one. That a little bit. No, that's not going to look great. There are cheap at ones available used. I'm not sure what you mean by that, missionary. Oh, that one's getting a bit too out there. Gotta get my brush control back. Nope, that's just me tracing. Hey, Red. It has been a while. It's been what? More than a year since I did a live stream about world building and map making. That'd be close to that, yeah. Okay, let me get my eraser tool set up as well, because we're gonna need a hard eraser, but it needs to be fairly small. Yeah. So what we're gonna want to do is erase that boy right there. Makes it look like that's kind of part of it. Kind of works. Yeah, it kind of works. Maybe I want to do a little thicker of a pen for the next set, but let's go in here. Nope. Makes those offset a little bit. Okay. Okay. I didn't think there were lyrics in this this official track, so hopefully they're not copywritten. This is the Stellaris track. I think I've used it before. Okay. So that doesn't look half bad. For somebody that is horrible at drawing, that doesn't look bad. Maybe it'll look a little bit better with the lines. So what we kind of want to do is a shading lines. Essentially, we're going to do some hatch shading about kind of midway down them. Not always midway down, but halfway. These are kind of my guide. There. Do not like, because it updated. Don't think I can change that right now. That'd be a settings thing. Maybe preferences. Don't think so. Whatever. I'll fix it later. Don't go over that. Okay. So we got that. And then we just kind of, we do some parallel lines to give the illusion of shade. Try and keep them parallel. Not necessarily too bold, but not too light either, so they actually have some body to them. Try and make that connection there. We'll clean these up. Clean these up with the eraser. Okay. So with that, let's just clean them up a little bit. Would kind of, for this one to be a little bit straighter. So it'll be more like that. And this one's okay. This one's intersecting a little bit right there. Just looking for ones that have gone outside the lines, as it were. Okay. Also want the ones by themselves to have somewhat similar length. Hitch styles. I don't think that looks half bad. What do you guys think? Because I know a couple of people are in here. While I take a drink. Just trying to think of how I'm going to do it with the rest of the mountain ranges here. Also, let me know if the for some reason the background music is a bit too loud. Let me know if it's too loud or anything like that. This is mostly a test stream, so just let me know. Also, word of warning, there's potentially some parts or some times I'll have like hitches or the stream will cut out for like a second or two. My internet at the moment, it's kind of just something that happens, and I unfortunately chose the one day it rained this week to stream, and this is mostly a satellite-based internet system, so not much I can do about that. Okay. So let me look at my reference image one more time just to see how they did verticality. Might want to make those hitches. These also aren't the tallest. These are kind of more hills than mountains. But, yeah, I might want to... do I put more shading on here? I'm just going to do a test with one of them. This one. So if I maybe put, like, another line or two there. Get that. Yeah, maybe a couple more hitches to make the shading a bit more pronounced. At least on some of these. Missionary, actually, like, the world that we're working on right now has already been made. This is just a remake of a map in a slightly, like, it's a more regional based map, like for a small area of a larger map. So I've already done the world map, I've done kind of a continent map, and now this is more of a regional map, and then I'm going to be making kind of an area map down lower of that for reference, because I understand quite a few people probably haven't been on my previous streams. I can open those up if I remember where they are. Let me just... I should be able just to open this. Yeah, it should just work. Take a bit because it's a very high res map. Yeah, so this is like this is the regional based map. Let me get the or that's the continental map, and then I swear to God I had a continent. There it is. And the continent one will load a lot more because it's not as big. So let me take the numbers off here. Nation labels. So this is the world map. world didn't have a name when I made this a year and a half ago or some ridiculously long time ago. I don't remember. Red would remember. Eric Zared, because he was here for, or they were here, I don't know pronouns, for most of them. But now it's called Valdehiris, is the world. So a couple of continents around there. This little purple line here is 900 kilometers as a measurement, as kind of a guide. So, you know, fairly large world, about the same as Earth is the scale of that. And then closer in on one continent called Eurasia, which is kind of the Europe analog. Made an atlas of that, so we've got kind of the general nation borders with a lot of names, like roadways and stuff like that. Again, that line is a 900 kilometer guide, so it's about 900 km across. Got that, and then the map we're making right now is of this area here, and I don't think you can see my pointer. It's of kind of this area, the Algan Republic, though. This is taking place in the future. This map is in the future of when this game is going to be set. It's weird. Essentially, context. Let's do context, because I'm afraid of doing more drawing. This map that I'm making right now is for a RPG game that I'm going to be GMing. I'm a part of the component cast. It's a crew. We stream on Twitch and everything. Kind of go check it out. There's we have a Tuesday game and a Monday game. I do the Tuesday games. Our current campaign is ending. We're currently doing kind of a weird like Prohibition era film noir campaign. We voted on another game. That game kind of fell through because of current that's fine, Red. I'm actually glad, because I don't want to misgender people. But yeah, the game that we originally planned kind of ended, and I'd already done a year of prep for it. So right now I'm now having to remake the game. I'm having to remake all the world building for a campaign that'll be happening in like 5 weeks. That'll be live streamed for a year. So I had a limited amount of time, and I've decided, I keep looking up here because that's where my camera is, but I'm going to try and look at the camera. I'm still getting used to this. But I had a limited amount of time, so I have retconned, or I'm reusing assets from my previous one. So this is my, this map and this world was for a novel I'm writing. So I'm basically doing the past of the current novel setting is where this game is set. Ipso facto, quickly how, just go through that kind of quickly, kind of not. I know that was a very long-winded way of describing things, but that is kind of me in a nutshell, is I don't get to the point very quickly. So yeah, that's the backstory of why we're doing this now, because I need this map post haste, because I've got players that are going to need to look at things when we do our games. And a live stream that I'll be watching as well, that I kind of need something to look at. And possibly also be writing a campaign supplement for this to sell. I don't know about that yet. It's kind of up in the air. So yeah, you got that. God damn. Noticing that I need to really relearn my my pen control here. Get that muscle memory back. See that curve? That's because I'm using the wrong parts of my hands to try and make a line. Yeah. Because you should be using your larger joints, your shoulder, to make lines, because they're easier to make straight lines for longer strokes. Okay, yeah, the thicker, the more numerous shading, like hitches, those look better. We're gonna go with that for the future ones here. So cool. All right, let's do another kind of simple one while I get this style kind of worked out here. How's the stream for everybody? Now that we got a couple of people kind of on the stream, how's everybody liking the is quality good? Can you hear me all right? How's the background audio? That kind of stuff. Really nice to know. It's a bit too. Much. No complaints. Cool, cool, cool. It's okay to complain. Not gonna hurt my feelings. Much. Audio's balanced, great, because it's been a year since I touched it. And I got a new microphone and like an actual audio mixer. So there's a lot of things that have changed and I haven't touched any settings. So it's good that it's balanced. Okay, so let's get these down here. Make that a little bit more shaded. I'm hoping, even though these aren't perfectly straight and everything, they're not as bad looked at from kind of a larger distance. So it kind of equals out. And it's supposed to be hand drawn, so kind of okay with it not being perfect. I'm not. It hurts me immensely, but it's either that or I spend 12 hours on this stream trying to do this, and I don't want to do that. Not again. Okay. Maybe these need just a bit more thickness. Problem is I don't have a really good calligraphy brush, which is what I'd probably want for this. It's a bit better. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? This is supposed to be us kind of, you know, it's a chat. It's not just me dancing dancing as a monkey in front of everybody. Let's get some little chat going. Let me also pop out the chat here so I have a better view of it. Okay, not just top chat. Let's go live. Cool. All right. Let's make these a little bit smaller. That one definitely not. Let's see, stream Oh, well, it's nice to be streaming again. The reason I'm doing this, and I do plan on doing some more world building streams and general stuff like that, kind of hobby stuff. One of the real reasons I'm doing this actually is I want to start doing hobby streams as well. So not just stuff on my computer. Is if this internet turns out to kind of work for live streaming, and I'm gonna take another drink here because my throat is very dry. I haven't talked like this in a while. But if the internet turns out to be like a good upgrade and I can stream to a somewhat passable degree in 720p, then I will invest in some equipment to be able to stream and in my hobby shop. So I want to be able to stream like myself painting and model making and stuff like that, because it's a hobby. It's the hobby I do a lot of, and I would love to share that. So yeah, like painting things. Yeah, Red. Because I do that a lot. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but I do post some of my stuff I make and paint. And you know, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think it's pretty good. So that's kind of the plan in the future, is if this stream goes off well, that'll be something I will try and do. Also gives me a bit more motivation to do more like to do more painting on my own and stuff like that if I have some sort of other incentive to do so. Yeah. You want to know something, missionary? While I haven't seen Bob or Sabouts in a while, actually, I think Sabouts quit YouTube. I believe I saw his message on, didn't he? I thought I saw him do something like he doesn't. He's not doing a lot of YouTube anymore because he's wanting to focus more on his business, which totally fine on that point. But I haven't seen Bob as well either because he cut off like everybody. But Midge and Ben, I work with them like officially. Ben is a community manager at Paradox. Midge is a community ambassador at Paradox, and I'm a community ambassador at Paradox. So we all work for Paradox now. We don't. Those two work on the same brand. They both do Hearts of Iron. So Ben is the community manager of the Hearts of Iron brand, and Midge is the community ambassador for it. I work on Vicky 3, so I'm a Vicky 3 community ambassador. In fact, at the end of this week, I'll be the only one, as as our team's kind of shrinking right now. But yeah, so we're all working together, at least generally. I mean, we're on the same Slack group. Okay, let's say that. So yeah, it's funny how that worked out. Some people you did stupid video game collaborations with, one day turn into your coworkers. So we still talk. Heck, this map, the game that this map is made for, Midge and me are both a part of that group. The component cast, we're both a part of it. So if you if you wanted to see us do more collaborations and stuff, in a sense, you could go check that out. Midge GM's the Monday game, I GM the Tuesday game, and we're both in each other's games. So if you want to see Midge GMing a D&D game, you can go watch that. And I'm playing a fighter in that game. And if you want to see me GM random random games, random genres, then you can watch that too, and that's on Mondays and Tuesdays every week. Okay, that looks good enough. It doesn't need to be perfect. Let's get this one over here. Let's try and get that on the... I'm getting a bit more comfortable with this as I go. I hope it comes across as that. I hope it's starting to look a little better too. Okay, yeah. You know, speaking of collaboration and stuff like that, I think Ben also wanted me to do. Was out of the loop on those positions because I don't follow people insanely, but nice to pair with that. Oh, no problem, missionary. You have a good time. Yeah, Red. It's well, the thing is actually I would have to actually thank Ben more for my job because he recommended me to the position because we knew each other, and they needed somebody who knew Vicky. Like I've put a couple 1,000 hours into Vicky 2, so they needed somebody who kind of knew the game for the position I was replacing. So that's how I got the job. So who says video games don't translate to real life skills? But yeah, I've been there since July of last year. It's one of the reasons I haven't been doing videos is because I haven't had a huge amount of actual time to dedicate to them. You know, I've got deadlines and stuff. I do the Twitter posts and a lot of the social media stuff for the brand now. So it's, you know, not a lot of spare time nowadays. It's actually something, I think it's funny that Ben's now the community manager for Hearts of Iron 4. Because if you know Ben, you know when Hearts of Iron 4 first came out, and for a good chunk of it, he didn't like the game. So I find that hilarious. Ooh. It looks like the program's having some trouble here. Oh, is it catching up? Is it trying to save something again? Okay, I think it was. But yeah, that's I find that hilarious. That a game he disliked, he's now technically in charge of the social media presence for. Yeah, did not hide it, and somehow they gave him that job. I mean, at first I think he was a community ambassador for EU4 for a while, which makes a little more sense. He's very much a fan of EU4. But then he became a community ambassador for Vicky, basically the job I have. He had through most of the time not publicly either, because it was before it was announced. And then I think he did like the logistics stuff when that came in. I think he enjoyed it. I think he's been public about the fact that he likes the new direction it's going in. So I guess there's that. Yeah, that's where we've kind of all been. I know Ben still does game streams on his Twitch. I also think, does he do YouTube? No, he doesn't do YouTube anymore, but he does Twitch streams and stuff. And then Midge does streams every day or most days. Okay. Yeah, he might post his streams. I don't think he's done it like a specific Let's Play series just for YouTube in a while, though. I think he stopped doing those. Don't blame him. YouTube's been pretty bad when it comes to ad revenue for a while. Okay. We'll do the shading together with a couple of others at once. Take a drink. So, Red, you were here for the previous live streams. How does it look? Like, how's it going so far in terms of quality? Would you say it's a noticeable upgrade from your recollection? Okay, we got that. Definitely more consistent quality of stream. Okay, cool. Even with the random, because at least YouTube says there's a couple of random dropouts every so often, so I just want to make sure those aren't like super noticeable or annoying. It is also currently raining out, so it's probably has something to do with at least a little bit of that. Okay. True, true. Though I do tend to ramble a lot, so I didn't know if it was impacting my my inane babbling. Hey, Anto. Been a while. Well, actually, no, because it was just yesterday. Because you watch me stream, you watch me on stream at least once a week, twice a week, actually. I don't know why you're that excited. I'm very mediocre. Well, then you came to the right place, my friend. Just these a bit better. Funny enough, Anto, it's the same. Technically, it's the same map that we mapped the last live stream that I did. This is just a smaller portion of it for the upcoming Tuesday game that will be replacing the Ticonderoga Knights game. What do you guys think? Just anybody in the chat. What do you guys think about those types of mountains? I can already see one that's kind of screwed up. Definitely want more cut off there. Yeah, what do you think? Good, bad? Look, you know, like a hand-drawn kind of map? I'm horrible at drawing, like freehand drawing. I'm good at mapping, but I'm bad at drawing. And the fact that I have to do this live on stream. No, I don't have to. I'm forcing myself to. Is very nerve-wracking. Bit too consistent. I'm not sure how to fix that, though. Not sure how I would do it differently. Some of these definitely need another go-ahead on the hitch, though. On the hitching. You mean something like that, where it's not straight lines, it's more just kind of like scratch marks to indicate like shadows? Is that what you mean? Very mediocre, so good. Thank you, Anto. Yeah, most old maps don't, but it'd be very boring if I didn't. You like that? Okay, let me try something here. Could always just erase it. So yeah, let me try at least do like one range and that thicker kind of hash mark style. So we'll kind of just do that. Really could use like a charcoal pencil or something. I could do that. You know what? I think I have a charcoal pencil. Let's see if I can actually bring that out. Pastel. Charcoal. Okay, let's bring that down to like an 8. Okay, let's just do a test mountain over here and let's see if this works. So let's do a little test range. So I got that. We erase kind of the forward bits there. Touch that up a bit. Okay. Then let's maybe... something like that. The red. Will mean I'll have to go and erase all of those hash marks again, but that's not that big of a deal. I would definitely I'll wait for the chat to catch up. I don't think. See, here's the thing, though. I just did all that in a quicker amount of time than it took to do the hash mark method I was doing before. So I don't think it's the. It's more so which one looks better, because I have a charcoal pencil, or I have a charcoal. Oh shit! Anto, stop giving me money. Seriously, I forgot I had those memberships on. You're throwing it away. I'm not going to do that many streams. Thank you, Ian. So honestly, thank you. That's very... God. But yeah, the effort's not that much more. It was, oh god, Anto. I had you stop giving me money for a year, and you're just burning a hole in your pocket. Yeah, the effort's not that bad. I'm asking because I have no eye for this kind of stuff. Do you think it looks better in that kind of shaded charcoal method than the hash mark method? Especially if I kind of like zoom out to like this level. It actually does look pretty good. Be hard to be. I don't think it'd be hard to be consistent. It would just be. I'll have to go back and erase all the current hash marks. Blend together. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with that. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think that's what's happening right now. I'm overruling all of you. You've been overruled. Even though you technically agree with this idea. So I just got to go back and I've got to erase all the hash marks that are in here already, which shouldn't actually be that bad. See, that's one thing I never got good at. Of a major amount of things I'm not good at, is drawing. Like a lot of people say, oh, but you do maps, so you know how to draw. But in the sense that if somebody came up to me and said, draw a tree or I will shoot you. If I had a gun to my head and they said, draw a tree, I don't know if I could do that. Maybe like a little like ball on a stick, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of a tree or a triangle or something like that. But if you tell me to try and make something that looks like it's got like foliage or something on it, I couldn't draw a tree. I can't draw like a person. Yeah. Cartography and drawing are two separate things. They have there's a cross-domain like commonality in certain aspects of it, but it's not fully. It's something, but I really wish I learned how to draw. I really wish I could. The problem is I'm not sure. Look, yeah, that's my problem. I can see it kind of in my head. Yeah, okay. See, I don't know, because I don't have context, obviously, because it's somebody else's brain and thought patterns. But there's some people that say, oh, like, just imagine it in your head. And I don't know if I'm one of those people who don't necessarily see things in their head. I kind of do, but not really detailed. So I don't know if I'm one of those people, if I'm one of the minority that can't like see things in their heads, or at least to a degree, because I know it's like a spectrum. Like you tell me think of an apple. I can kind of think of an apple, but I don't think it has color. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, honestly, in my brain. And I'm kind of just rambling right now as I mindlessly erase things to fill time. But it's weird. I don't know. I also know that that's not like a requirement to draw. It makes it easier though. Drawing in front of me. Yeah, I could kind of. You mean like you can copy stuff, right, Leanto? Like if somebody put like a drawing in front of you, you could pretty reliably like copy. Kind of here though. Just wanted to say hi. Hey, Red. Or the Red Moogle, not Zared. But yeah, I don't know. It's like because I can copy things fairly well. It's kind of one of the ways I originally learned how to do mapping. Is I kind of just saw styles that I liked and I was able to copy them and then learn how to do them. Like learn the process enough that I could make it work. Red Confusion returns. Yeah. Yeah, I think the same thing kind of for me, the Anto, like it's hard to do it without an example. And I don't know if that's because I've not learned, like I haven't taken classes or anything on how to draw. If that's the case, then I just need to learn better. But if it isn't, if it's more like, hey, you just have a physical, like a mental block to it, then oh well, I guess I'll just never learn how to draw well. But when it's simple geometric, but I think that's the thing, is that when it's simple geometric shapes, I can kind of do it without having an example in front of me. And once I get this erased here, I'll give an example, because I do actually have an example that I've made before. A casserole that's already cooked here. It's a stupid reference. I'm an idiot. I guess so. I guess you could be right, Red. It could just be that they're overrepresented, but I mean, there are people that just are naturally good. They have that talent. They may not necessarily. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm being too hard on myself. Hey, love sniping. For example, what I was talking about before, if I was to use my, like, when it's simple geometric shapes, I can kind of do it without having an example in front of me, because I did a couple of art tests for myself. So, like, let's see. Like this was all hand drawn. This was all hand drawn. So, I mean, I can do it. The hardest thing for me is shading and shadows. I guess I don't understand. I don't have an innate understanding of shadow and how that works. But even if I don't have that innate understanding, I can kind of, I guess, fudge it in a way. But I can do this, like, without having something in front of me. Yeah, like, it's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing, Nanto. I can't do it. I even did, nope, not those. I had to be verified, by the way, before this stream, because I've done nothing on my computer, like live streaming, for a long time. I I've gone through like my drives like 4 times to make sure anything that's covered under like an NDA or for work is like in its own separate quarantine folders, so I don't accidentally show something on here that will get me fired. But like as an example, like this was a test I did to try and do like shading and like trying to do like a shadow work, and I think it kind of turned out okay. So I know I can kind of do it if it's simple, but if the more complex it gets, the more my brain shuts off and I'm unable to work at that point, is what I'm saying. At least that's my understanding of my own brain, which probably isn't that well understood, honestly, knowing me. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to say half of that is just Clip Studio Paint being a very intuitive program. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I could do like planets, like orbital, like kind of like showing like a planetary system and stuff like that. I can do that really well. I know how to do that. Anything else though, it takes a long time, which is why I was asking so much about how this hatch shading was working. I did because I can't tell. I honestly just can't if it was good or not. But I like that charcoal method, so we're gonna try and do that, and we're gonna do it for a range, and we're gonna see if that kind of works better before I go and erase the other mountains that are already on this map. I realize now not a lot's gonna get done in the time I allotted myself for this stream. Okay, almost got it. Glad to see so many familiar faces though for this stream. It's really nice actually to know that you guys didn't all just abandon me, even though you had every right to. Though I think I did make a couple of posts saying I wasn't going to be doing videos for a while, so hopefully that got around. Because yeah, I have not had time. Also been kind of nice just not having to stress about uploading, honestly, for a while. I mean, it's been replaced by stress of like related to work and other things, but I mean, you know what I mean. Self-made stress, I guess you could say, because that's what kind of YouTube was. I was making myself stressed out but nobody else was doing it. It was so. Almost got this there. Oh, stretching my hand. It's been a while since I've had to use my stylist pen. Probably could have all been fixed if I didn't do the shading until I had finished all the mountains, honestly. Which I might just go ahead and do. I have a lot more mountains to do, and I was hoping to get most of the way done with this map since I've already gotten most of the landforms and stuff done the last time I worked on this, honestly. So would be nice just to get this regional map done and then kind of get to the area map that I wanted to do as well. I need a couple of different things done for this campaign coming up. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, the Anto. I'm just gonna do the mountains first. After I get this shading kind of, the shading that didn't work kind of gone, at least here, because I'm already partway done with erasing it. I have to do another small section up on the north part of this map, but that shouldn't be that bad. That's the other thing. I don't know too much about art, but I know it's more a learning process, is the process of how you kind of go about things. Because I know I know you need to do like a sketch, need to do all that, and then there's something else you've got to do, and then that comes to shading, and it's in coloring and everything, and it just, yeah, it's too much for me. That's not what I wanted to do. So yeah. Okay. Those mountains are done. Let's do all the small patches first, and then we'll get to the other stuff. So let me rest my hand for a second, and we can chat, even though we've been talking, or I've been talking. Let's be honest here. I'm a windbag. I'll never stop. Ooh. There we go. I've started to learn with this steel, like, insulated mug for my tea. I need to leave it for like an hour before I drink from it. It's been actually almost 2 hours since I made this tea. And it's still like, I can't chug this hot. Like, yeah, yeah, that's right, Deonto. Oh, oof. Don't know if that caught on the mic or not. Hopefully you're not squeamish about popping joints. If you are, be warned. I do that a lot. Okay. Right? Like, yeah, so because I have other insulated mugs, but they only keep, like, they keep it maybe tepid or warm. This one is like super good, and it's not even like a travel mug, which is where I expect like a thermos to be really good, but this thing is not even, this thing doesn't even have like an enclosed top. It's like got a transparent plastic top, and it's still really good about keeping that heat in. I didn't even buy that. I think this was like I think my father got this for like Christmas bonus or something. It's a brand for some farm equipment or something like that, which actually would make sense. Let's keep that more. I don't know how the bottle I had was insulated or not. Put some boiled water in it. Literally the next morning it was still warm. Yeah. Yes. I mean, yeah, it's probably insulated because most cups will let that heat out pretty quick. But yeah, no, it's kind of annoying, but it's also not, because I don't like to admit this, but I also did the same thing. I made like a full thing of this, like Earl Grey, drank about a couple of sips of it, forgot it, got up the next morning for work, and I was going to brew myself my morning tea, and it was still full and hot, so I just drank drank tea from a day, like a day old tea that was still warm. It's not something I'm proud to admit, but I've done it. I mean, let's be all honest. We're all barely functioning monkeys that are just kind of like bouncing around our days. And the freshly made one in work. Yeah. Well, I see. That's the thing, though, the Anto. I work from home, so I make all my tea. Because yeah, you would know, because me and Midge still go on about this, like on live streams and stuff like that. Yeah, I work for Paradox, so I don't live in Sweden, so I work from home. Okay. It's weird, isn't it? Actually, I think we were talking about this earlier. When we think about it, the people that I, throughout my career, have done collaborations with in terms of like Paradox games, we're all in some fashion working for Paradox at this point. The majority of us, because it's me, it's Ben, Midge, Mordred is also working for Paradox. He's the computing ambassador for EU4. I just realized now that you probably can't, my fingers aren't probably very defined right now because I'm wearing my drawing glove. And who else? I don't know if anybody else is, but I know other people are applying for jobs. So it's kind of funny that this generation of YouTubers all just got picked up by the company that did content for their games. Let's clean this up. That's true. That's true. Yeah. It's worked out so far. I mean, I don't know if I technically didn't make a living off of it by the time I was actually picked up, but check this. Yeah. Okay. You can definitely tell where I started getting more comfortable with this, with my pen. These are a bit rough. These are very rough, and these are getting a bit better. So, I don't really want to go over the old ones, though. I want to kind of keep that kind of look, because it's not supposed to look perfect. So, let's go to the next one here. Just double check the altitude. Yeah, they're not that big. Okay. Let's get that one back. Funny story. Let's go to Roach story time here. Funny story. I used to live in a town called I used to live in a town in North Carolina called Bat Cave, North Carolina. Okay, that was the name of the town. I'm not screwing with you. It's called Bat Cave, North Carolina. And when I say lived in, I mean in the fact that our mail would come from there. So the funny thing about this, and that relates to this, is that my school at the time, which was like, I don't know, 3rd or 4th grade, I have to take a bus, obviously, was at the bottom of the Batcave was like at the bottom of a mountain. And we lived near the top of the elevation of that area. So basically, I lived so high that when I got on the bus and went to school, my ears would pop every day. Like that was the altitude difference between where I lived and where I went to school every day. Don't recommend it. Miserable place to live. But this is a funny story. closer there. Hills we call mountains, but actually, yeah. See, the thing is, I could actually call where I lived a mountain because we were actually within the Appalachia Mountains. So, I mean, they're not like big mountains, but they're mountains. Is the shield. I'm not sure where that is. I don't have context of your location, so I don't know what you're talking about. You don't have to share that, by the way. That wasn't a call out. Okay. Most of the small mountains ranges are getting dealt with. That's where brush control comes back in. Oh my goodness. Canadian Shield is third of the country. Oh, Canadian Shield. You mean the I may be misremember. I don't know if you call it the same thing, but are you talking about the Canadian Rockies, or is there, are you talking about the part of the Appalachians that kind of go into I might be misremembering my geology entirely. So forget it. I'll probably just embarrass myself heavily there. Okay. Just gonna give my hand a rest here. Oh. Whew. How long have we been going for? Has it already been like an hour? It's been an hour and a half. Oh my god. I still got some time. That went by quicker than I thought. Okay, so next things. We've already got those. We're definitely gonna go and do like a second pass on some of these mountain ranges, just because I'm getting more comfortable with my pen control. I guess that's maybe why some artists always do like warm-up pieces, is so that they get more comfortable with their pens before they get to the main piece, so they don't have to redo things. That's probably exactly it. Sounds like it makes sense. Yeah, it sounds like it makes sense, which means it makes sense. It sounds like it makes sense, then it makes sense. Doesn't mean it's true. It just means it makes sense. Oh, I don't know why this track's making me think of I know this is like what, 2014 or something like that. Um, I I just saw for the first time the movie Gravity. This music's making me like think of that again. Uh, Never seen it before, and it feels like it's something I should have watched. Because it's like totally up my alley. But yeah, I never did. I said Gravity, right? I didn't misspeak. That happens a lot with me. I say things faster than my brain can think them. Thing I really need to watch is Interstellar. Never seen that. Yeah, I said Gravity. Yeah, good. That's the name of the movie, right? Yes. On the west coast, the app are on barely in Canada. She lives basically in the center of Canada. Oh, that actually makes sense. Cause okay, because like all of the like because the Great Lakes were because of glaciers during the Ice Age essentially, and the Great Plains were created through the same process. It was just a just slow recession. It was just a long period of glaciers essentially flattening the land, and then a gradual retreat back to, you know, the current oblivion that they're going through right now. So I could definitely, so yeah, no, I could definitely see that being the case, because if you had like two major ice sheets that weren't connected, you probably have the same, like the excess land's got to go somewhere, so it might have created, yeah, that might make sense. That might make sense, or it might not. Either way, totally see that. Was not aware of that geological feature. It's a mapping stream. I mean, you'd expect I'd know at least something about geology. Is that a wild Magnus I see? Hey, Magnus. I knew I saw. I know that cartoon facade of your icon profile, even from the corner of my eye. I have nowhere near as calming of a voice as Bob Ross. Don't insult the man. Actually, actually, the Anto, funny thing you say that. Do you know Bob Ross was actually a drill sergeant in the U.S. Air Force for quite a few years. It's actually where he was stationed in an Air Force base in Alaska for a period, which is where he got all of his ideas or his ideas of doing a lot of scenic paintings and that kind of stuff. Happy little mountains. Yes, happy little mountains. Okay. That looks pretty good there. Get this range over here. I watch a lot of Bob Ross, actually. Like, a lot. It is really calming to watch, and there's a lot of it. And funny enough, even though he is painting and trying to teach you it, it's something you can kind of just have on in the background and not feel like you're missing anything. That's my biggest problem, by the way, is like when I'm trying to do something and I have like and I have it set and I'm working on something and I have something in the background. It has to be something I've watched already or I've seen already, or that I know what's going to happen, or else I just kind of sit and watch it. But they're amazing to just kind of like have on in the background. Very calming, very nice. Even though I can't paint and I can't draw, I kind of want to try when I watch them. Honestly, I don't think I could do it. Honestly, I don't think I've got that much talent. But fun. Actually, funny story. Again, we're going off on tangents here, but that's kind of why you come here, I assume. Honestly, I don't know why any of you show up. But there's a funny thing. Bob Ross learned the wet on wet painting technique from another painter that did a TV program. So he learned that, and then he made his own TV program. But he wasn't painfully German. Let's just go with that. He wasn't painfully German, which the other guy was, or that or Italian. I'm not sure. He was an immigrant, first generation, so he had a very heavy accent. So he got much more. So Bob Ross got much more popular. Funny thing though, my grandmother learned how to oil paint from the TV program that Bob Ross got his method from. So she didn't learn from Bob Ross. She learned from the person that Bob Ross learned from. And she still has her paintings up in her house. Actually, they're very nice. Just a funny little story there. It definitely shows that our artisticness doesn't equate to your genes, because my grandmother's really good. I am horrible. Actually, do I have it? Do I have the shot? Hold on. Let me just make sure I don't want to post anything that's going to get me taken off YouTube. Do I have the picture? I took a picture a while ago when I was visiting a few years back, and I don't remember where I put it. Bob Ross of maps. Do I have it on my phone? Because I could just send it in to my phone. Sorry, I know this is captivating. Oh God. Oh, how to work technology. Images. I know I took it. I know I wouldn't delete it. It's not a great picture, but it does. It's somewhere around here. How many years ago was it? Oddly enough, I take a lot of pictures of my models, so it's kind of what's filled up with my phone. That and pictures of my cat, because, yeah. Oh, come on. I know it's here. I know it. It's gotta be. This is gonna annoy me for so long if I don't find it. Ooh. Got it. To okay, there we go. Got it. Sorry. Sorry, I know that was captivating for everybody. Have to be. There we go. I just need to download that now. Got it. Boom! From my phone without even connecting it. It's a very poor picture. But yeah, that's hung up in my grandmother's guest room, and she made that after learning from the person that Bob Ross learned from. So funny, small world, right? It's actually really good. The fuzziness of the photo kind of doesn't give it justice, but she's got that and like a whole bunch of others. She sold them too. She's actually made money off them. It's kind of stud. Happy little bushes, yes. A lot of palm trees too. That was Florida. Just gotta get my stream stuff up again. Funny enough, one place that Bob Ross didn't do a lot of was tropical or non-temperate locations. Yeah, actually, Anto, you got it. Yes. It's the original Polaroid that she used as a reference to make the painting, and she's got it with the frame, and so you can see like exactly. And she has that for like I think 4 of the ones she still has, and it's like it's really good. It's cool, like right? It's I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of. I guess it's my grandmother, so I have to be, supportive of that. But I don't know. I think it's interesting. Okay. And what are you doing here, by the way, Magnus? Don't you have like a never-ending pile of work and meetings? At least that's what I get whenever I talk to a community manager. Yeah, but from what I've heard, you never get a chance to rest. Okay. How are you and Leah doing, by the way, Magnus? Never get a chance to talk anymore. We still need to do our spin tires game that you wanted to do. You got COVID. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hopefully it's mild case. Seem to recall you having your shots, so I would assume it's not too bad. Doing all right now? Well, that's good to know. That's good. These need to be redone. Sucked real bad. But yeah, we got it. Well, that's good. I'm still COVID free. I have not had COVID yet. So hopefully never. As I have a lot of comorbidities that I don't want to test. Sorry, I'm not talking much right now. Now I'm kind of in the zone. Go. Whew. Happy little mountain zone. Yes, I am. That's the thing. The more you get used to the brush strokes and controlling the pen, the easier it is to kind of make this go quicker. And I'm afraid that if I get up and do something else, I'm going to lose that. I'm going to lose what little muscle memory I've generated in the last hour and a half. I'm actually surprised this soundtrack's been lasting this long, honestly. Basically, my goal is to do uninterrupted work for one whole soundtrack, then go and take like a little little fiver. Use the bathroom, etc. So, I did not check how long the Stellaris original soundtrack was. I think it's one of the longer ones, though. Make sure all these connect in a pleasing way and don't have weird endpoints like that. Yeah, I definitely need to redo these bottom ones and these ones here. Those need to be redone. All the rest of them are turning out fairly well. And then we can get to shading. Hopefully shouldn't be that bad. Just let me rest my hand for a second. I'm going to make sure nobody's messaged me on Discord or anything like that. Don't want to miss out anything. I've turned off my Slack just in case, so I don't want work interrupting anything. But if somebody really needs me, they can get me on Discord. So I just need to double check that every so often, just in case nothing's blowing up. But then again, I suppose Magnus is here, so he'd know. He'd have firsthand on that. Okay. So. Just saw this one being a little weirder looking. There we go. Let's do this one over here. Discriminating on fire checks. Oh, Ben, I might not even care about Discord being on fire in the next like 2 days, given the fact that I will be the only one watching my specific Discord for a while. Over on my brand. I know. That's not the part that worries me about the upcoming issues. It's more the actually no, that one's, we're gonna make that one go forward. Kind of reverse it on this one. Let's be honest, the person who's been taking lead on that, they've made a machine that kind of does its own work. You don't really need to do a lot to it. It'll just kind of keep going, which is the thing I'm afraid of. Is I don't know how to do preventative maintenance on that machine. Perfect time to learn, though, I suppose. Stop the machine from breaking. Yes. I'm gonna be honest, if somebody asked me to do certain things with certain Twitter bots, or not Twitter bots, Discord bots, systems, they ain't getting done. He's not yet. I still need to learn some things. Ooh. Okay. That's good. Ooh, definitely need to. Feels like my hand, like my wrist needs to pop, but I can't get it to. Ever have that? Ooh. I guess the next thing I need to learn how to do is to get this green screen lit up for the lit up properly and chrome it out so I can have it actually working for the next stream. I'm getting old. You're getting old, Magnus. See, I can usually do my neck and my back is usually I can get those to pop on command, and it's always nice. But I can't do most of my hands other than like finger joints, and that doesn't really do anything. It's just something I can do because my joints are made of gravel. Raging at the same rate. It's true, but I've had a lot easier life. I take it easy. Except when I don't. Further away from the gravitational source, which means technically you are correct, Agnes, which is the best kind of correct. In very obscure physics knowledge, you are correct. Has the high ground on this one. Is that how it's gonna be? I have the high ground, Roach. Don't try it. That one's a bit too pointy. Come on. I just gotta get that damn thing to pop. So interesting stream to statistics right now, because I remember when I was doing this previously with my old internet, I was streaming at like 800 kilobytes per second, somewhere around there. And I believe by the time I got done with like a 3-hour stream, I had 10% dropped frames, something like that. So far on this stream, which I'm streaming at 2500 kilobits per second, I'm only getting about, it's hovering around between 5.5 to 5.8% dropped frames, which I think is good. I think that's acceptable. That means it's, so for 30 frames, that's less than, so for 30 frames it'd be 3, so that'd be 1.5 frames drop on average every second, which would bring us down to 28.5 frames. It's not bad. Movies play at that speed, so I mean, it's not bad. I can deal with that. That, and also the beginning part of the stream, which was, I think, the kind of the worst, at least from, I haven't been paying attention to my panel that much. It was raining out, which does affect my internet. Not as much as you would think, given that it's satellite, but yeah, it's not too bad. Oh dear God, Rad, no math stream. You want to see something that I'm worse at than drawing? It's math. I'm at least somewhat competent enough that I could do simple stuff on stream that I'm doing this. You'll never see me do math on stream. I will have a calculator at all times. Somehow managed to get that kind of right. Eyeballing that. I definitely need to figure out where I can turn off the autosave feature that I used to have turned off for Clip Studio Paint. I dislike it immensely. It's also, funnily enough, from what I've read, the highest, it's usually the thing that causes crashes the most. So, figure that one out. Actually, yeah, Ben. Yeah. Oh, you missed it, Ben. Earlier, I don't remember who it was. Somebody wasn't familiar with, like, they were asking about, like, the old collaborations and stuff like that, and what we'd been up to. I guess I hadn't kept up on our, like, current professional lives or whatever, which, I mean, why would they? What are we? I made the point that it's funny. Other than for a few, everybody that we've done like collaborations with have all kind of ended up at Paradox, or are very much looking into ending up at Paradox. And I think the funniest thing is that you, somebody who was vehemently against Hoi 4 when it first came out, is now responsible for its online presence. Who says? This is like the amount of irony cosmically is amazing. Yeah, yeah. Me, Midge, you, and Mordred. Which were kind of, I mean, other than for one person whom shall not be named, were the most common people we did not commissions, collaborations with. Funny enough, mostly in the in Paradox stuff. Remember when he said that being a yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that. Though, to be fair, we're not making the majority of our money making content anymore. But I I appreciate the irony. Did help with networking. We can definitely say that. That one. Okay. Yeah, no, I can see that. Basically what you did. Good supplemental income, though. It's a nice hobby. Okay. Got that. Let's get a couple of regular old hills here. Just Oh, okay. Got most of those. Okay. So far, that doesn't look half bad. We'll have to see how the shading kind of works with it. But so far, I think that looks pretty good. Especially for the hand-drawn look I'm trying to make it go for. Taking a big picture here. Screen. Yeah, these bottom ones. And these ones need to be redone. Other than that, all the rest of them look fairly good. I think that's a problem. All right, well, what else do we have in terms of mountains? I think we've got the rest of the folder. Yeah, the fold and range. This needs to be redone, and this one. We're most of the way there. Most of the way there. Need to stop retracing when I think I made a bad line. I need to get rid of that urge. Just leads to something I have to delete later. Okay. Got that. These are fairly tall. After I get these down, I'm going to take like a fiver and stretch my hand, use the bathroom, maybe get a snack. Oh, hey, Ben, if you're still here, which I assume you are since my viewership hasn't dropped immensely in the last 20 minutes, what do you think about the stream quality? Given the fact that I am on my Starlink now, so I'm trying to... This is mostly a test of the new internet. It's good? Okay. I know there's somewhat frequent drops where maybe it'll buffer for a couple of seconds or you'll lose my feed. Is that like super annoying or just kind of, you know, there? Because the plan is to do more streams if this is working. Audio is a tad low, but that's it. I wonder if I can bring my microphone up. So is this better? Because right now it says it's going into like the I'm redlining it just barely. So I just want to make sure I try to avoid the red area of my microphone you know, chart. But let me know if this is better, because I have an audio mixer, so I can do that on the fly. I just turned up the microphone itself. Like, I have a Go XLR, so I have my own slider for the mic. So it was at about 75% previously. Now it's at 100. It wasn't even at 75. It was like 80 or something. Near peak of the... Okay, how about this? Okay, I brought it back slightly. How about that? Is that better? So I should probably still talk when I ask that. Because, yeah. If I can get the mic sorted out, and apparently the quality of the stream isn't too bad, then I have some plans for content in the near future. Not bad, not bad. Cool, cool, cool. That's a wonky one. Okay. Yeah, no. You weren't here for this, Magnus, but I already went over it. If I get the if everything works out with this, then the plan is to invest in some equipment and get everything ready in my hobby shop to do streams where I work on hobby stuff. So I'll do like painting and model making and stuff like that. Oh, the worst time. The worst time to get it. They just had a price increase, like it was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. It hasn't even been like a full month since the price increase. It's too bad. I actually don't know your living situation, so I can't. It's too bad you don't have space or inclination to get a 3D printer. I've got one. I've been working on an army for the last year, and I wouldn't say most of it's 3D printed. Actually, only a minority. Way to mine use middies. No, GW is just a heartless, greedy corporation, Ben, as they've always been. But it's you know how something gets, it starts off annoying, but it gets worse. We're at the it's gotten that bad stage where there's no way to make it better again, like kind of mindset for a lot of fans. But no, I'm in here with several 3D printers, resin 3D printers, Magnus, because I've got one plastic and one resin. I haven't used the plastic one in like 6 months, but the resin one I use quite often, and I'm going to use this time of talking about hobby stuff to rest my hand. It's a great way of saving money on the hobby because what was it? I currently, like, I'm doing an Imperial Guard army. So I started this in July. I'm trying to finish it in 1 year, so I'm pretty close to the end of it, actually. It's all third-party miniatures or 3D printed stuff. I think the amount of money I saved compared to buying it directly from GW is essentially the cost of my printer and washing and curing station combined. So basically, I've equaled out in terms of savings, and if I do another army, then it's just the printer's already paid for itself at that point. So that's kind of the thing. The printer's already paid for itself at this point, because of how expensive GW plastic is. It's very expensive. But yeah, I've been actually, though I can't say anything because I'm currently getting everything together to start a Space Marine army that's going to be majority GW plastic, so I guess I don't have any room to judge. Though I will point out I have made great pains to make sure that army is I've used as many deal seeking stuff as I can to save money. My friends, well, yeah, that's valid. That's totally valid. A couple of my friends don't, actually most people don't know I have a 3D printer, mostly because I don't want people to know that they could actually get things from me, so that I don't have to print them things. But yeah, that's the that'd be what I'd recommend if you're going to do stuff, like look at third party. I don't know what army you're picking up, so obviously, so I can't give you good recommendations. But there's quite a lot of options nowadays. There weren't when I was getting into it. If you were here, I'd be mooching off of you. You wish, Magnus. So you know, right? Ben, I can't move to Sweden. Paradox has to pay for it first. All right. So we're going to do something here. I need to erase the really bad stuff I made earlier and replace it. The newer stuff, and then we can do shading. Let's see what I can do. What are you planning on doing? Like, in terms of, have you been debating or thinking about armies that you want to play or collect? because I kind of know the market right now for third-party stuff, because I've been deal seeking for a while. Because I can tell you, if you're thinking about, well, I don't know if you could actually do it now because it's in Europe. But if you're thinking about doing either Space Marines or Necrons, subscribing to the Imperium magazine is probably your best bet to save a shitload of money. Tyranids Orcs are higher on my list. Imperial Guard are up there. Imperial Guard, okay, if you're doing Imperial Guard, you can definitely like get deals because third-party companies make so much cheaper minis. Wargames Atlantic. If you look them up, they do basically a whole line called Death Fields, which is meant to just be Imperial Guard proxies. They don't say that, but it's what it is. And they have, what do they have? They have Raumjägers, which are the ones I'm using, which are based off of like German Fallschirmjägers. They have the Grognards, which are based off of kind of, you can build them as Napoleonic French all the way up to World War I kind of French. They have so many heads that you could do like them with bear skin, shakos, or the Adrian helmet. They have one that's like Norse themed. And they have one that's based off of like cannon fodder stuff, so they're really generic, but they're really nice sets. And what was the last one? Oh, the new one they're doing is they're just coming out with it, or it's on pre-order, is the Bulldogs, which are based off of like the British, and all the art is like them in red coats and stuff. So they have the British one, and so I think you can get those in like the pith helmets, the Brodies, pith helmet Brodies. I don't know if you can get them in shakos or not, but you can make them into a whole bunch of different things, and they have, it's a pretty good line. I would highly recommend it. Because you get like 24 in a box for $10 less than you get 10 guardsmen from GW. So you're basically paying less and getting more than double the figures. It's ridiculous how much you save. Hey, don't diss the French, Ben. Don't diss the French. I've actually been collecting French for Napoleonics, Napoleonic wargaming. So I've got a whole bunch of Napoleonic era French minis that I still need to paint. So they're all sitting on my to-do shelf, which has no more room for things I need to do because it's filled up with a whole Tau army, about 100 French Napoleonic infantry, and a whole bunch of cavalry as well. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Getting a little bit too off kilter with those. Whoa, what is that? Oh, okay. Hold on. Autoplay off. Hopefully that last song was not from something else. Whew, okay. Yeah, that was not a Stellaris soundtrack song at the end there. Knew that wasn't. Okay, glad I caught that early. So what I said was that I was going to wait till the song, the autoplay ended before I went. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm going to take a $5. I'm gonna take a $5. I'm going to probably like get like a protein bar, or I don't know, get like a bottle of Soylent or something. Just keep me going. Use bathroom, make sure the house is on fire, and then come back here and finish up the mountains. And then we'll get to shading. Took a lot longer than I thought, but I actually think it's better than the original idea I had for this. So it was good, and that was all to chat actually that helped me with that. So cool. But yeah, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Entertain yourselves. I'm also just going to make sure chat is... Yeah, okay. It was updating. Cool. Now I'm going. And I'm back. Just in time for everybody to leave. Decided I wouldn't eat this downstairs, I'd just eat this here. Just so people know the stream is actually still going on. Surprisingly enough, according to my stream metrics, which I haven't really been checking, we've had multiple peaks of 7 people watching, which is a lot. It's a lot for, well, this. Okay. Sorry, this is... I didn't account for the fact that this protein bar had been in the cupboard for a bit longer than it probably should. It's chewy. It's still good. About a few. You know, I just recently rewatched the series that joke comes from. I've totally forgot where we got that joke from, but I rewatched it recently, and I've finally remembered. First day whole day. Hey, I never said I was a model for anything, including healthy living. You told me I don't remember. It was Helsing Abridged. It was Helsing Abridged, and I realized just the fact that we keep referencing that and that we're public figures is probably not great when we're on stream, because it's a joke involving a clan member. It's like, Jed, how many crosses we got in that truck? About a few. Funny joke, but God, we lost the context of that a while ago. How that's intersecting there. Yeah, that's where it's from. It's Helsing Abridged. Episode, like, what is it, 5 or 6, something like that. It's the Holy Army from the Vatican that goes to kill like all the Protestants in London, and instead of actually having like what was in the series Crusaders from like holy orders, they replaced them with like joke Crusaders. So they had, what was it, the Salvation Army, the Spanish or the Mexican Inquisition, what was it? The Crusaders of the Temple Beth Sion, and the New South Carolina Confederate Congregation were the Crusaders in the joke, and that was the joke that that we get that from. The early internet was a different time. It was a different time. Okay. Got one little area left, and then we're on to the next step here. Earlier, it's not that bad. I've completely forgot what that's in reference to. Remember I was saying earlier that sometimes my brain just, sometimes I just say things without thinking about it, and it's everything. It's also usually the times when my brain doesn't doesn't remember. Just say something and like a little bit later it'll come up and say, yeah, remember when you said something, when you said this? And I was like, no. I don't remember anything. It's not that old. Oh, it's not that old. Oh, now I remember. It's not that old. No, it is that old. It's like, what is it? What is Helsing Ultimate Abridged? That's brain no math correct. Yes. Yeah. No, it's I know it's Helsing Ultimate Abridged. No, because the last episode came out like years ago. Yeah. No, it's old. The the finale of that came out 3 years ago, but it started at least 6 years ago, probably more, because that's a compilation of 3 episodes is the earliest one I can find. So no, it's old. It's old. Internet time? That's like Socrates. Okay. Well, I just need to know. I just need to go around and clean up some of these, and then we can actually start shading these. Which, as we learned, a new method to shade them that looks better. We're going to try that on these, and hope it turns out well. Okay, I don't see anything that's tripping me up except down here. There we go. I knew I forgot some. I just realized we haven't had background audio because my headphones just turned off. Let me go ahead and do that. So Paradox Interactive. I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, does Crusader Kings have a decent one? That's only a half hour. Wow. What's a decent game for this? What's a decent game? BattleTech. We'll do that. Yeah, there we go. Put that on. It's on purpose. That was not on purpose. I forgot. Yes, let's just draw a map with crushing silence. I also need to get out of the habit of looking up here and look over here at the actual camera when I do this. It's actually the first time I've done recorded content, in a sense, with a webcam of any sort. God, I sure hope the BattleTech music is the same as the rest of the Paradox stuff. Because I know it's Harebrained Schemes, so I guess I mean, we're publishing it. Oh well. Yeah, well, I know the way you do it is you have like a what do you call it? An anthropomorphized face kind of, or something that you can look at that's like a thing. And then you train yourself by looking at that, and that kind of gets you into the muscle memory of doing it. I don't have anything that I can use for that, though. He's not handy on my desk. I went through I don't know how long with no music in the background and nobody said anything, with me making no noise. Okay. What? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know what just went through my mind right then. And so when you said Duke, I was like, what, he's in the camera shot? There's nothing behind me but just green screen. He has no place to get onto to get the camera view. It's just like he's a full-size person. God. Oh. The soundtrack is playing for me. Oh, yeah. How much would it fuck with you, Ben, if I turned on the EU4 soundtrack right now? So you not only had the one in game, but you had one that is in no way synced coming through my stream. I just got duped, yes. Funny thing is, he isn't even in this room. He's downstairs sleeping on the couch. It would be chaos. Yes, it would, Ben. Yes, it would. Which I'm not going to do, even though that seems to be kind of my MO, but we're not going to do that to you. Okay. Well, we can get rid of the sketch layer. So if we just look at that without shading, I think that looks good. What's everybody's opinion? for the mountain and like elevation kind of section. We're gonna try shading on this. I'm gonna make a new layer. Play the war sound, really freak him out. I don't know if that's a part of the official soundtrack. I don't have sound effects. It's just the it's just the OST that's on Amazon. I guess I do have to kind of learn how people do like the sound effects for like people subbing and all that, because I'm gonna have to do that eventually. Though it'll be a bit. I've got a laptop that look at the fucking camera. I've got a laptop. I remember why I didn't use this before, is it does have vocals, which does screw with me a little bit. We're gonna keep going though. I've already committed. But yeah, I've got a laptop I gotta pick up. I've got either a camera link. I need to get either a 4K cam link from Elgato, or I need to get a oh, what the hell is it called? There's like a Sony. Oh God. I'm blanking on the name of the product. It's some sort of like high-end like production webcam thing. It's a Razer. Okay, not Razer. It's not Sony. It's a Razer Kio. Need to pick up that, a laptop, or I need to pick up the laptop, either the Razer Kio or a camera with a cam link. Or I actually have the camera, so I just need the cam link, and then I'll have basically everything I need to live stream my hobby stuff. It just needs to be, the only problem is, gotta look at the fucking camera. The only problem is I don't have a wired connection down there. So that means I'll either have to get another 100+ foot Cat 6 cable and to run that through the house, just like I've done with my room, which was hell. Or I might look into Ethernet over power, or whatever that's called, connection, and see if that works, because wireless I don't think I can really work with. Not sure. I definitely need some beefy Wi-Fi extenders if I was to do that. And I don't want to do it in my room because I work with things like glue, and I've started working with enamels and mineral spirits, so it stinks up everything. So definitely going to be in the basement, or as I call it, the hobby shop, because it's less sad that way if I just call it the hobby shop. Okay. Let's try these, and we're going to make a new layer for just the shading. Except that's just the man cave. That's the thing, though. It literally serves no other purpose but for the hobby stuff. Like what I've got down there, I've got storage for terrain. I've got a gaming board. I've got all of my minis, and I've got my hobby desk with all my paints and everything. Like, so and my 3D printers. So it really is just my my hobby shop. Even though I don't actually make profit on anything in there yet. Damn it. It makes better. The internet running through my wall connected via patch panels. Patch panels, are those explain. We may use different terminology. They might be the same thing I'm thinking of, but I don't know what the common vernacular is where you're at. These are things you're talking about, Roach. They were all right. Well, I know. God damn the soundtrack. I just had a visceral reaction. I thought I was getting shot at in a mech. Fuck. See, I know those. I know the power. I know the Ethernet over power things decrease over distance in terms of like the speed. But I don't know if it's better just to go with like a robust wireless network or to go with that, which is technically wired. I don't know which one is better. And they're expensive, so I don't want to commit to anything before I kind of have context. Yeah, I think the thing is I just don't know if my wiring can support it because I know it's not the old wiring, which has like you have one single circuit going around the house and you just have taps into the circuit. I know that's not it. So it's not like that. It's more my sockets don't have grounds. They don't have the grounding plug, which I don't think the Anto would get because you're Canadian, so I don't know if you use the same sockets we do. Ben would know. It's just the two-prong socket. Actually, yeah, it's just a two-prong socket that looks like two T's, but like with the flat halves pointing at each other. Oh, you're Irish. Who was the one talking about the shield though? I'm getting people mixed up because it's been a long time. We've been on here a long. I think that was the red. Talking. Yeah, it was probably the red. Definitely not the same side. No, definitely not. Yeah, it was red. Yeah, it was red. Sorry. But it's still the same thing. You wouldn't know what I'm talking about. Close enough. Yeah. But they're the old American sockets where they're just the two plugs. They don't have the ground with it. So the problem I have is if I was to like, there's none of those wall panels, those patch panels or those Ethernet over power that don't have a ground. So the problem is I'm not sure how I would make it work. I could just get there's adapters that are just the two plugs and you can plug a cable with a ground into that and it'll plug in. but it says that those things don't work if you have like an interface in between them. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to commit to anything because they're expensive. And it's also going to be expensive if I want to get like if I want to do like, I don't know, like an air mesh system or something like that. If I want to hook up for wireless down there, which I could do. My router now supports it. It's just one of those things. You just gotta think on it. These don't have the ground though. RJ45 connection. I could. Honestly, they exist. In fact, I've got one. I took it down because basically my old router was the router that came with the service, my internet service, and it was it wasn't great. So it was like one of those shitty just 2 antenna versions. So the wireless was really bad on it. So so up until recently I had Wi-Fi extenders in the house that extended our Wi-Fi to, because it's a brick house, so Wi-Fi was always touchy here to begin with. I still have them. The problem is I don't know if they're good enough to support like a streaming connection with enough overhead that it won't impact the service, or it won't impact the stream, is what I'm dealing with. That's the thing I'm looking in. I worry about, because it'll definitely get enough to stream, but you want to have at least some overhead in case there's drops in service or things like that. So, question to everybody watching. This one requires audience participation. On your screen right now, where the two are the mountains and hills, one without the shading, one with the shading. Do you think the shading adds enough that it's worth it? Hello, Chris. Yes. Yes. Okay, cool. Chris is Zeus. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm zooming out just to the fullest extent to see if it's still kind of, somewhat visible. I think that works. It's visible. Definitely add to it. I'm going to try it in a smaller area here. So, just 1 second, though. Just got to check something. Yeah, the Anto literally just on the opposite side of my green screen because I had no other place to put them. I've got a Wi-Fi extender that's got an RJ45 and another one that's got an RJ45 on it. That were both working fine. So yeah, the only issue is that it's either an extender or an access point. So I'm not sure. I have to figure out something for this. Okay. Well, let's try and get some work done on this because I think at 4 hours that's a good enough stream for a return. I did want to have other things I did today. Or other things I want to do. So that's proper English. Been worth it. Well, at least this isn't going to be as painful as I thought it might be to make these maps and get everything ready for this campaign on such short notice. Should be able to have this regional map knocked out not too long from now. The big one that's going to take some time, though, is going to be the kind of area map where the campaign starts. Hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, that shading's really helping. Definitely gives it a pop. Okay. All right. Oh, it's murder on the wrist though. Oh. Mm. You know, one of the reasons I also do most of my mapping and stuff on streams to game soundtracks isn't just copyright. Uh, it's actually a known fact that if you video game soundtracks, at least most video game soundtracks, are formulated in such a way to aid in motivation. So to keep you playing, kind of thing. Don't know if that holds true for Paradox's soundtracks, but I have noticed with a couple of games soundtracks, not ones that I can play on stream, that I do tend to get a lot of work done when I'm listening to them. Okay. Stream's honestly going, it's been going a lot better than I thought it would. Yeah, no, I'm noticing that too, Ben. It's storm just picked up. Actually, I think the storm is just leaving. What I tend to notice is yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, Ben. What I tend to notice yeah, Red. What I tend to notice is right before a storm hits and right before a storm ends is when the connection's really iffy. And I think that's because the storm front makes the air a lot denser, uh, both ahead and behind the actual storm, and it makes it, and that's where it actually has trouble chopping through that. Like it makes it choppy. It's really hard to push through that soup. So that's my theory at least. I'm not an orbital like mechanic. I don't know that kind of stuff. I'm not an expert in orbital mechanics or satellite communications or anything like that. So take that how you will. That, and also I've just found out that my father came home like a half hour ago and now is starting to watch his Netflix. So that might also be eating away a little bit at the connection. But we only have a few minutes left before the stream ends. So hey, if I end off here with a 10 or 11% frame rate drop, I can take that. Yeah, it's soup. I can live with that kind of frame drop rating for what is essentially just a satellite internet service, just a really beefed up one. Up till just now, yeah. Maybe on your end, Ben, but I definitely know there's been a couple of times where I've been out for like a half second or a second just looking at my metrics, but it probably didn't translate to the stream noticeably. So honestly, today was a great test for what I could get away with because of the fact that it is raining outside. It actually hasn't stopped raining since I started this. So given the fact that there's, enough cloud cover that it's actively raining out there and the sun hasn't really been out too much, and I'm still able to get relatively decent stream quality, or I guess a good stream quality. I'm right at the bottom bit rate for 720p, if I recall. But if it's smooth, I'm better if it's smooth than if it isn't, because I don't necessarily think that, and also that the audio's good. That's the two things I care about the most. And my audio should be great. I've got an absurdly expensive audio interface and an absurdly expensive microphone I'm talking into right now. So it should be fine. Oh, oh. I can definitely now feel my hand is sore and my shoulder's getting sore. Whew. Yeah, shading these mountains is going to take a while. Okay. Okay, everybody. I think I'm at my limit here. My arm and hand are sore. The stream's starting to have a couple of problems because of the storm. Just either a new front coming in or just leaving. So either way, I think it's about time I go ahead and end the stream here. Even though, looking at everything here, we had a really, I do think we had a really good one. Dropped frames is just a tad bit over 10%. So that's not bad. Yeah, we got a lot done today on the map. I don't know if we're going to be working on this map next week, because I do plan, unless there is issues with work-related stuff. I should be doing another one of these Wednesday at the same time. Fingers crossed that I am not overly swamped at work. And yeah, I never knew how to end these, but thank you for joining me for the stream. I look forward to seeing you hopefully all next week. And yeah, see you then. Bye.